Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om, everybody. Welcome. Invoking Bhagavan's grace and blessings and the grace and blessings of our Guru Parampara, Chinmay Mission Guyana will be starting a 16-week Puja Vidhi course today. It warms our heart to see so many people joining from all over the continent, not continent, 2 continents, maybe more, for this course. And we're so happy that you're all here because it means that more and more people will develop more and more love for Bhagavan over the next few weeks. We have taken a sankalpa here at Chinmay Mission Guyana to teach a simple Puja Vidhi course. And you all have taken a sankalpa from wherever you are to learn to do puja for yourselves. Now, when a sankalpa is taken, the hope is that we finish it. And usually what happens is things come in between that prevent us from completing our sankalpa. And so wherever there is discipline, sankalpas get completed. And wherever there is discipline, there are also rules. So the first thing that I am going to do is tell everybody about a few of the Zoom rules of this class. Rule number 1, videos must be on, not, facing the ceiling. You must actually be visible in class. Also, we ask for full attention. This is not a YouTube video that you're watching while you're eating or doing the dishes or anything else. We request everyone to give us your full attention for the hour. Then attendance is required to maximize the benefit. I mean, if you come and you learn step 1, 3, 5, and 9, you can't say you learned puja. So to really complete the sankalpa, one of the things that should be there in your mind is that I am going to be here every week. We will start prompt 6 p.m. Today we gave a grace 5 minutes, but otherwise we'll be starting at prompt 5 p.m. And you know how it goes. When you log in at 5:59, something happens and your computer starts to restart and all of that. So please, by 5:55, plan to be in class and convert it for whatever your equivalent is. By 55 of the hour, plan to be in class. Also, children 10 and under must have an adult with them at all times. Children end up using the Zoom screen as a mirror, and they make funny faces at themselves and they get distracted. And this is not for that. But when the parent shows the child that they are also giving importance to this, the child benefits the most. These are a few rules, not because we want to be mean, but because these rules are in place to help us to bridge the learning gap. We're doing something unconventional. We're learning puja online, something that is meant to be done in person. Already there's that limitation. So to bridge the limitation of the Zoom platform, we request everybody to stick to these rules for the duration of it's 16 hours only. It's not that much time. Okay. Now, to make sure that you are in the right place and to make sure that you know what you signed up for, I just want to clarify what exactly we will be covering in this course and what we will not be covering. So you also can see, this isn't what I signed up for. I thought it would be something different. I'll see you later, maybe at another time. So first is, in this course, we will be going through the philosophy of puja, the meaning, the symbolism of steps where applicable, and the I'll go into the philosophy in a few moments also, but we'll focus a lot on the understanding of why we are doing what we are doing. We will also do a simple 5-step puja, Pancha Upachara Puja, that somebody with even no time in life can do every single day. We will do the simple 16-step puja called Shodashopachara Puja, the puja that has been done since time immemorial, given by our rishis. We'll be doing that. And we'll be learning dhyana shlokas for some of the famous devatas that you will use while you are doing puja. If time permits, we may try to incorporate some of the daily prayers that are done in Sanatana Dharma as well. Now, because the topic of puja is so vast, we will be focusing in this course on what is called mantra shuddhi or shloka shuddhi, meaning making sure our pronunciations are perfect of whatever we chant, and bhava shuddhi, the purity of our attitude, the purity of our devotion while we do puja. These are a couple of things we will be focusing on. Now, what we will not cover is samskaras. So after this course, you will not be able to do somebody's wedding or Janeo samskara, etc. We will also not be doing sakama puja, meaning you come and you do this puja and then God will give you this. That is not what we are doing here either. We're not doing havan in this course, and we're not going to be covering any sub-pujas like Kalash Puja, Navagraha Puja, the chandi that we install afterwards. This is a simple 16-step puja course. Also, just to clarify, so that nobody is shocked at the end, it is not a Pandit training course. At the end of this course, you cannot go and conduct puja for somebody else. The purpose of this is for us to do our own puja with our own families for our own selves. Okay. Now, what this course will cover then, simply, it is meant for us to help. It is meant to help us do puja for one devi or one devata at a time. So we're not going to sit and do 5 pujas in a day, right? Whichever devata we are doing puja for, that is the devata we will do 16-step puja for, like that. Then we will learn to chant all the mantras and shlokas that we learn to chant properly. We'll focus on making sure we get the pronunciation right. We will be learning how to perform a daily puja, a brief one. So don't get scared. It's not a 3-hour puja that you have to do every day because you are in this class. In fact, there's no 3-hour puja in this class. Daily pujas, as I said, can be done in 5 minutes also. So you will learn to do a short and simple puja that you can do every single day of your life. Then the full 16-step puja that we will learn, you can do that on once a week you can do it. You can do it on special occasions like Deepavali, Janmashtami, etc., on birthdays. So that is what you will become equipped to do at the end of this course. Now, what exactly is involved in class when you come each week? What can you expect to find in class? First, we will cover some philosophy. Then each week we will learn a few mantras and shlokas. We will also learn the meanings of those mantras and shlokas, the bhava, meaning the sentiment with which we are supposed to do that step in puja, and any symbolism related to that step. Then there will also be a practical aspect. This is not a come and be able to explain how to do puja to somebody. How sad it would be if you come to a puja course and all you can do is explain how to do it, but not be able to get the benefit for yourself. So every week, there will be some practical aspect that we will have to do to get comfortable with puja. And more than that, to get the benefit that puja is meant to give us. You cannot go to the gym once a year and expect to build good muscles, even if you spend all day. We know that it is daily consistency that is the most powerful technique in any kind of transformation. So we'll be practicing, and that practice that we will start in class will then convert into what we call a weekly adventure into the heart. Something that you will do that will be helpful to transform our heart, to transform our bhava, to transform our love, our relationship with Bhagavan. Okay? So this is what the classes will look like. Now, when we say philosophy, I mean, we're not talking anything complicated. Things like what exactly is puja vidhi? What is the purpose of puja? What is the mechanism by which puja works? What is the sentiment we're supposed to have when we do puja? Like, and then how we can maximize the benefits of puja and all the variations in puja that we see around us, how to make sense of them. Right? So these are some of the things that we hope to cover over the 16 weeks, not everything in one day. This is not a satsang, this is a puja course, right? So we'll cover a little bit each week. Okay. Now, let us think a little bit about why we do puja. I don't know if you've all heard the story of the guru who lived in an ashram with some shishyas, and their ashram was one where they did puja every day. You know, different ashrams focus on different things. Like here in Chinmaya Mission, our main thing is teaching. We teach Vedanta, right? So some ashramas, their focus is Havan, some it's puja. This was a puja ashram. And so the guru used to wake up and do puja every day, a beautiful puja every day. And he would set up for the puja very elaborately. And his shishyas would sit and watch him do puja. And that is how they learned how to do puja. Now, what happened is there was a cat that lived in the ashram. And that cat would come and mess up all of the dravya that the guru would set up. So everything that he set up for puja, the cat would come and he would kick it over. If there was milk for the puja, he would drink it. And so big mess this cat would make whenever the guru would set up for puja. So the guru thought, what is this? Every day this cat is troubling me. So before he started to do puja, he would go to look for the cat. And then he would tie the cat to a tree so that this cat now can't come and disturb his puja while puja is going on. Now puja went on fine, uninterrupted. Well, many years passed, and one day the guru had become old, and it was time for him to drop this body. So he's now lying on his deathbed, and all his shishyas are sitting around him, and they're asking, can you give us some final upadesh, final, last message before you leave? And he said, well, I did puja. I taught you all to do puja. You've learned. Now you will go and do puja for others so others also can benefit. So they said, okay, Guruji. And that was the end of that chapter. So now these shishyas went to do puja for other people. And when somebody comes to do puja for you, they send you a list, right? You have to get ghee and milk and kumkum and haldi and this whole big list you have to get of all the things that you need for puja. Well, these wonderful shishyas gave the list like that. And on that list, they added cat. A cat is needed for puja. Why? Because before you do puja, you have to tie a cat to the tree. So now the tying of the cat became associated with a step of puja. It was as though now the purification step before puja could take place. We need a cat before we do puja. Now you tell me, somebody who thinks a cat is mandatory in puja, everybody's laughing. You see the humor in this, right? But you tell me, if over 1 or 2 generations puja is done like this, can you not foresee that people will start to now do puja to the cat? Well, the cat is part of puja. We have to put chandan on the cat. We have to arti the cat. We have to, how they say we have to. All these things could very well start to happen if someone feels like a cat is a mandatory part of puja. Then what happens? If there's no cat, now there's fear. Oh my God, our puja is not going to be complete. And so many things come as a result of what? Not understanding why that cat was tied in the first place. Now, the puja that we have, wherever we have grown up, across the world, all the pujas that we witness will have an element of authentic puja as handed down by the rishis, but many pujas are also contaminated by rituals that have been added without understanding. And those rituals, when not done, bring fear into the heart. Agree or disagree? How many Hindus in the world today do puja with the fear that if I don't do it, God will punish me? How many people do puja thinking, if I'm missing this one ingredient, my puja is not complete? If I don't offer this specific prasad, God won't be happy with me. We have all that or not. We even have things like you can only offer red flowers to Hanumanji. So over time, different things have come into puja because we haven't understood why we are doing it, for what we are doing. So the hope in this course is that we will learn what the skeleton body of puja is, what the main steps of puja are, why we do them, and then accordingly we can add all the cultural aspects that our family adds, not out of fear, but out of understanding. So, why do we do puja? We don't do puja because God will punish us if we don't do it. We don't do puja out of fear. When we do puja out of fear, unfortunately, it becomes tamasic. Fear is tamas. And it goes exactly against the purpose of puja that the rishis intend. The main purpose of puja is to get purity of mind. The main attitude of puja is to do it out of love and gratitude for Bhagavan. We will talk more about all of these in the coming weeks, but I'll take the opportunity now to walk you through the shuddhis in puja. There is something called puja shuddhi. In the Rishi tradition, there are 7 things that are highlighted, bringing purity to which the benefit of our puja becomes more and more and more. Now, you cannot have grown up in Guyana or Trinidad and not know some of these intrinsically. It is a part of our blood, actually across the world, to bring purity to puja in some form or the other, if not both. Okay? The first form of purity is Atma Shuddhi. We must be pure ourselves. Clean clothes, having a shower. Some people don't know this, unfortunately. They don't take a shower before puja. Okay? But purity of myself. And then making sure that, well, in Guyana, we call it fasting, right? But meaning you don't consume things like meat and alcohol before puja. So there's purity of oneself when I do puja. Atma Shuddhi. Then Prasada Shuddhi. The surrounding where I do puja should be clean. It should be sattvic. Now, if I live in a home where I don't have control over the purity of the entire home, well, at least my area should be pure when I'm going to be doing. Actually, it should be pure all the time. But at minimum, when I'm doing puja, my puja area should be clean. Bimba Shuddhi. The murti should be pure. Some people, they haven't done puja for a long time, and then they go and they do puja and there's still chandan remaining on the murti, and they put the new chandan on top of that, right? It is more ideal for us to make sure the murti is clean before we start puja. Not, oh, Bhagavan, I'm going to bathe you during puja, so it's okay, leave this chandan for now, when I bathe you, it will come off, right? We start with the murti being pure before we commence puja. Then Kriya Shuddhi. We make sure that whatever steps are involved in the puja, we do what we have to do, and we do them in the correct order, right? Not, oh, I feel like giving you food now. Oh, now let me give you something to drink. Oh, now let me give you a bath. There's a vidhi. There's a protocol that we follow when we are doing puja. Now, somebody like Shabari Ma, whose devotion is just unparalleled, she can do whatever she wants, and that is her puja. But here we are trying to develop the bhava that Shabari Ma had. And so the Kriya Shuddhi, the following the steps properly, helps us to bring that. Then Dravya Shuddhi, purity of materials. As we go through the materials, we'll talk about it more. But simple things like if a flower falls on the floor, we don't offer that flower to Bhagavan. The way we pick flowers, all of that. Then mantra shuddhi. The chanting of mantras, the chanting of shlokas should be perfect. We have to make sure that we say everything properly. And finally, the bhava or sankalpa shuddhi. The motive that we do puja. We can do puja with so many motives. I mean, your child can come to you for so many reasons. They can come to you they can come and give you a hug. If a parent was to make a list, or a child also was to make a list, reasons why a child gives their parent a hug. Can you not think of at least 5 different reasons? They want something. They did something wrong. They're scared. One, if you're lucky, might be just, I feel, an overwhelming gratitude. The same way we can have so many attitudes by which we do puja. Which is the best attitude for a child to go give their parent a hug? Just out of love and gratitude. In the same way, the best intention for puja is done to express love and gratitude. When we have these shuddhis, we get a great amount of purity of mind. Purity of mind equals happiness. And isn't that what we are all looking for? So, with this brief introduction on puja, we're going to start with our mantra shuddhi. To get purity in chanting of mantras, well, we have to be able to know how to pronounce them. So, a little bit of Sanskrit is required because the mantras are in Sanskrit. Unfortunately, they're not in English, they're in Sanskrit. And the Sanskrit mantras have a great power built into them. It's not hard. In fact, Sanskrit's easier than English because once you learn how to say a sound, exactly as you see it, you say it that same way every single other time. So I'll hand over to Devji now to take us through this section.
Hari Om, everyone. Okay, so when it comes to chanting shlokas and mantras correctly, you will be happy to find out that most of the mistakes, like 80% of all mistakes, have to do with just 2 letters, the very first 2 letters of the alphabet. These are the first 2 letters of most alphabets. I know for a fact it's the first in Spanish and French and English and Hindi and Sanskrit. So the reason why these 2 letters, the famous A or infamous, you will find out, is difficult for people to pronounce, we'll find out now. So see the next slide. Oh, first, let me go back one, please. First, see this. The proper way to pronounce a normal is actually like a U. So everyone do this with me now. And for this portion of learning to pronounce, you have to shake off any inhibitions and be like a child and make sounds, right? Then only you will actually be able to do it. You can't do it intellectually. So everybody now, with me, after me, I want you to say from your throat. Open your mouth and say And the other one is ah. For that, you have to open your mouth big and say ah. So let's practice now. See the next slide. You might say that's very easy, and ah. But we know from experience, because in all languages, these 2 letters have many different ways they present themselves, right? They are very fashionable. They wear all kind of sound clothes. See, in Guyana, the first word they written there, C-A-R, is pronounced as kyar. Kyar. So that sound now sounded ah. Ah sound is not there in Sanskrit. Or the next one, everybody knows how many A's in the next word. Actually, a K is missing there. Arawak. If you look carefully, it have 3 A's, and the last one has become long. Arawak, we say. How come the last one became long? See the variation? Or the next one, anaconda. We say anaconda. We don't say anaconda. So the last A in that has become long. And the last word written there, I will be giving Guyanese examples because, well, we're in Guyana, Chimamish Guyana. But you will have to translate that to your own version of English. Atlantic. At. So you see, Kyar, Arawak, Atlantic, the A sound gets mixed up all the time in English. So now we have to figure out in Sanskrit, how is it supposed to be? The nice thing is it doesn't change around like in English. It will always sound the same. So we'll practice that now, how it is supposed to be. First, right? So if you say, before you say umbrella, you can say a house, a car, a man, a store, a sound. Or you can say umbrella. Like umbrella. So everybody should repeat after me, huh? Or like oh. So say like oh. Say this now. Like you know, you don't know the answer to a question, you just say that is a good one because you can feel it in the throat. See another example. Like what's up? What's up, bruh? You wouldn't say WhatsApp. WhatsApp is the thing on the phone. What's up? So I hope you're getting the correct sound. Umbrella. Say with me. After me. Umbrella. Oh. What's up? Understand. Right? So that's the first letter. It's actually like a U. The next one, well, this one is easy because we all know alu. Nobody says alu. You put alu with this bori, you say alu, right? Or aji. Or achu. So everybody knows to say this because everybody sneezes, right? Achu. In Guyana specifically, it is like ayu, abi, all right. So everyone can say this other one correctly. I know that. It's the first one that will cause most of the issues. So now what we'll do throughout the rest of the shlokas that we teach, the long one will be blue and have a hat. Then you know he's long and he's like alu, aji, achu. So everybody say after me. Let's practice. Alu, aji, achu. Right. Next. So here's a quiz now. I want you to see the first two letters there, and you tell me on the count of three how it's supposed to sound. We can unmute somebody from the crowd. A volunteer.
You have got to be kidding me. Howdy, y'all.
Okay. So on the count of three, everybody chant with Anjani how the first two letters sound. 1, 2, 3.
An,
Actually, it is supposed to be un
oh,
because the A comes like a U, right? Uh-oh,
un,
un. Right. Next one. 1, 2,
up,
3. Up.
up,
Right. See the next one. Next one comes like up because the A makes a sound. Right. Now everybody knows this famous great character from our Ramayana. In Lanka, nobody could lift his foot. So how do we pronounce his name now? His name is pronounced with two U's where the A's are supposed to be. His name is supposed to be Angad. Angad. If you change the U's to anything else, you might get Angad. Angad is his name. Angad sounds like he don't have any God in him, right? Angad. Do you see how important? A great character like Angad, if we change the us, it comes like he has no God. Angad. So Angad. Everybody say on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Angad. So this is a very important thing. It might seem a little unnatural to say the as a U, but so many words will be perfected by this. 80% of your chanting will come exact. Now we'll put it into practice. Oh, yes. Before that, we introduce you to another letter. Every week, we'll introduce you to a few new letters. They don't have in the English language enough letters to represent all the letters they have in Sanskrit. So, an international body came around and started to put little dots and slashes and squigglies to make up the rest of the letters. So, if you see this red S wearing that cap like that, that is a sh, like a normal sh. It's looking funny, but you all know how to say it, right? Like shaggy, shake, ship, shark, schnookums, shh. Normal sh, right? So it's very simple. It's just recognizing, oh, it has that hat. It is a sh, right? This is called transliteration, and you will find it in every scripture. You will find all these squigglies. So at the end of this course, not only will you learn to chant properly, you will also have to learn how to read transliteration. Right. Now, for today's and this week's practice, you're going to need to be able to chant this mantra. So we'll do lead and repeat with someone in the audience. Anybody want to volunteer? The share screen is gone. Right. So say after me now, everyone. Right? I will call somebody. Om
Om
Shri.
Shri.
Right. And see, this is the show we just talked about. Om Shri
Om Shri
Ganeshaya
Ganeshaya
Namaha.
Namaha.
Perfect. Now, there's something we didn't introduce you to yet. If you can know it and you can do it, that is good. You'll be ahead of the class. This N with a dot underneath, it actually sounds like this, if you can make that sound. If you can't, we'll teach you in a later class. Okay, we're going to now all chant this 3 times together. Lead and repeat. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha.
Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha.
Good. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha.
Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha.
Good. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha.
Om Shri Ganeshaya Namah.
Good. Now, you might have heard in different places, Ganesha Ye Namaha. There's no such thing. Doesn't mean anything. So every time you want to say Namaha to Ganesha, forever now in the future, it will always be, in all circumstances, Ganeshaya. So the I is coming in that we learned, like Alu, aji, aya. So this is very important for everyone. We can't go through everybody here and check them. That we do when we do Gita chanting. Each person we go and help them. But this isn't as much instruction for now. Ganesha ye is not a real word in Sanskrit. Ganeshaya. All right. Now, let us learn our first mantra, shloka actually, for doing puja. This is called Pavitra Samskaraha. And before we go through the meaning, let me just tell you a little bit about this step, right? So this is the first step of puja that everybody will practice. Now there are thousands upon thousands of variations in puja. And in many of the traditions, certainly in Trinidad and Guyana, one of the very first steps is to take a lota of water and a mango leaf and to sprinkle water around. Everybody has seen that. So this is the mantra that goes with that step. The purpose of this mantra is for purification. It is in the simplest meter. It is very common and the very universal mantra. Now, first, let me tell you a little bit about why we need to do purification of the area. It is not in place of cleaning. Means to say, everybody knows, or many will have known, that first, before doing puja, the place has to be cleaned, the person has to bathe, the mind should be with good intention. So purity inside and outside is required. You cannot go to a cow pen and do puja. Even if you will, you have to clean the whole place first. When cleaning, sometimes by accident, we miss things. Maybe behind a bookshelf, we didn't clean it properly, or underneath one of the thari, we didn't get it by accident. As a last resort, this mantra is chanted to provide that purification. It is not done in place of. So this mantra on its own is not meant to purify the place. It is meant to be done as a final purification via the power of a mantra. As a last resort if anything was missed. So this is the purpose and the use. Now see the meaning. Apavitra pavitrova. Whether something is pure and clean or unclean. Sarvavastham gatopiva. Or whatever its state it might be. Yasmarit pundarikaksham. He who remembers Bhagavan Shiva, here is called Pundarikaksham, the one with lotus eyes. He who remembers that Bhagavan Shiva with his lotus eyes, Sa Bahya Abhi Antaha Shuchi. He becomes pure within and without. This is the meaning of the mantra. With that in mind, for the person who has learned it like you all, you must remember Bhagavan Vishnu with his lotus eyes while you chant the mantra, because that is the meaning. He who remembers, he becomes pure inside and out. We may have in our heart harbored some fear, some anger, some jealousy, some greed, something which limits our own happiness and ourselves. But we know that when I've come here to do the puja, and I want to offer the best that I have to the Bhagavan who I adore and who supports me every moment, as a last resort now I chant this mantra. So whatever is there gets removed. Remembrance of Bhagavan and the power of the proper chanting of the mantra does the job. That's why pronunciation is so important. It is a symbolic action Because people will ask also, but the water didn't touch everything. What if it missed the tari that underneath which I didn't clean? Then did it become pure? So there's an element of symbolism in it also. And you will be finding throughout the whole puja, whether you're offering clothing or food or flowers or just a simple coin in dakshina, there is a tremendous symbolic element in the offering. This also is with the water is symbolically purified, right? And then at the end of the puja, we also do the same sort of last resort. Bhagavan, if I've made any mistakes, please accept it all with devotion. So that will come at the end. So this sort of last resort to begin, because really speaking, we are helpless in front of the Lord. Okay. With this much explanation, let us practice chanting. So again, I will have people chant along with me. Everybody together. Huh? Whatever I chant, you all chant 2 times. Om. Now UP is like up. Huh? Om apavitra. We'll try again. Om apavitra 2 times.
Om apavitra. Om apavitra.
Pavitrova.
Pavitrova.
Again.
Pavitrova.
Very good. Now that whole part. Om apavitra pavitrova. Lost that person. Om apavitra pavitrova. 2 times.
Om
Om Pavitra Pavitro Va. Om Apavitra Pavitro Va.
Good. Sarva vastham. All right. I will unmute people as we go along now. Sarva vastham.
सर्वावस्थां
Again.
सर्वावस्थां
Gatopi va.
Gatopi va.
Again.
Gatopi va.
Now we're going to try that line. Om apavitra pavitro va.
Om apavitro pavitro va.
Sarvavastham gatopi va.
Sarvavastam gatopi va.
Good. Next line. Yasmari.
Yat smare.
Yasmarit pundari.
Yat smare pundari.
Kaksham.
Kaksham.
Yasmarit pundari kaksham 2 times. Again.
Yasmaret Pundarikaksham.
Again.
Yasmaret Pundarikaksham.
Good. Sabahya. Sabahya.
Sabhaja
Good. Bhyantara shuchihi. Bhyantara shuchihi. We're going to try that whole line now. I'll ask somebody. Yasmaret Pundarikaksham. Gayatri.
Sorry.
Yasmaret Pundarikaksham.
Yes.
That's okay. Yasmaret Pundarikaksham.
Yasmare Pundarikaksham.
Again.
Yasmare Pundarikaksham.
Sabahya Shuchihi.
Sabhayabhyantara suchihi.
Sabahya
Sabhayabhyantara
Shuchihi.
suchihi.
Okay. I'm going to chant it whole thing through. One line. You all practice with me. Om apavitra pavitro va sarva vastham gato piva yah smaret pundarikaksham sabahya shuchihi. Right. So we'll leave it there now. We will send this via audio on the group to everyone. Next slide. So every week, as Ginaji mentioned, you have some daily wah to do. And we call it wah because once you do it, you will feel wah, wah, wah. I feel so great. That was awesome. A weekly adventure for your heart. You will have to chant this mantra, which we just gave. And Ginaji will explain. Light the diya, etc.
Okay, just before I go into this, I want to remind everybody, if you know these mantras and you have been making mistakes in chanting them, it is okay that you were making mistakes before. But now it will require concerted effort, a special highlight, bold, exclamation, look, this is different than I know, to make sure that you don't mispronounce it moving forward. A very common mistake is people say sababya. You heard that? Sababya byantara shuchihi. So many people say babya. You may not have even heard that you are not saying it. So, like that, look at all the letters properly, listen to the recordings and chant along. And as we perfect our pronunciations also, everything will get fixed. Okay. So this week, what we're going to do is every morning, preferably in the morning, you're going to wake up. Means once you're done, you've taken your shower and all, you're going to spend 5 minutes at your mandir. Whether it is a corner of your room, whether it is a physical room in your house, it doesn't matter. But you're going to spend 5 minutes with Bhagavan. What are you going to do? You're going to do Pavitra Samskara first. You're going to chant the mantra, which we learned today. You're going to sprinkle some water all around. If you don't have a mango leaf and you don't live in a country where you can get a mango leaf easily, or if you don't have a mango leaf growing in your yard, don't worry. You can use a spoon and Bhagavan will not get angry at you. The sentiment is, use something that you can use to sprinkle water all around. Clean lota, clean water, clean spoon. If you don't have a lota, you can use a clean glass, a plastic clean glass until you get a lota. Okay, not a juta spoon, not a juta cup. And you'll chant the mantra while sprinkling water all around. Then you light a diya. Next week, we'll learn the mantra for the diya. So you just light it with no mantra. You can say Om and light the diya. Then you're going to, now this is your work for the week. Every day, you are going to write down 3 things that you are grateful to Bhagavan for and 3 qualities that make Bhagavan so great. Why are we doing this? We are doing this to try to invoke a bhava, a sentiment of gratitude, of devotion, of reverence. Don't skip it. It is not something just for kids. It is for all ages. This is the way our devotion grows, by thinking, right? So 3 things we are grateful for and 3 reasons why Bhagavan is so great. We're going to do it, start today, and then we're going to do it every other day until we meet back on Tuesday. Then you will close your eyes and you will chant Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha 11 times. And don't worry, because it is the first time. We will chant it 11 times for you and send it. So you can play it and you can chant along. You don't need to worry about counting. You just worry about trying to invoke that bhava of gratitude and love as you invoke Lord Ganesh. Right? Ganeshi is the master of obstacles. Everyone knows he's the master of obstacles, right? But master of obstacles doesn't mean that, he's going to come in his cute little chubby bubby form and pick up a cassava ball and throw it at your enemies who are coming to be obstacles in your path. He's Buddhi Devata, right? Meaning it is by invoking Ganeshji that we get clarity of thinking in facing the obstacles that are bound to come in our life. So give thought to what it is we're grateful to Bhagavan for as Ganeshji or general, and 3 things that make Bhagavan so great. Then you will do Om Shanti, 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 and that will be the end of your few minutes sitting and spending time with Bhagavan. Is everybody clear? Yes, Devji, go ahead.
These 6 points of gratitude are your flowers that you're offering. So you can leave that paper there at the altar. That is your offering for this week.
That means you don't type it on your phone, huh?
Yeah.
Unless you want to leave your phone with Bhagavan all day, that's also fine. You take a paper and a pencil or pen and you write down your 3 things you're grateful for, 3 reasons why Bhagavan is so wonderful, and you offer that. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about the challenge for the week? Not the challenge, the adventure for the week. We will have, after we do this activity, we will do closing prayer. Then we will take up some of the questions that came up in the Google Forms. We'll address frequently asked questions, and then we'll open up for any other questions anyone might have. So now please take a minute. You were supposed to bring paper and pen to class. I hope you're not looking for some now. Please take a minute now and write down 3 things you're grateful to Bhagavan for, and 3 things that make Bhagavan so great. Okay, if you haven't finished, you can finish after we do the closing prayer and we finish our FAQs. All the questions that have come, I will address all of them, including what happens if I miss a class, will the recordings be shared, etc. But we start on time and we end on time at Chinmay Mission. So 7 o'clock on the dot, we're going to do closing prayer now, and then I'll transition into the FAQs. Okay, you can all put your hands together. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Okay, we will send at the end of class, we will send what the weekly wa is. So you have it on record. So you can't say you forgot. It will be right there for you to check every week. And also now I'll go into our FAQs. Will class recordings be shared? No. This is an in-person class. Now, what if you miss one class and you don't know what we did? Well, if you miss 1 or 2 classes over the season of 16 classes, that is okay. You can request for the recording and we will share it specifically for the 1 or 2 classes that you are absent for. But it is not meant to be a substitute for people who can't come and catch up with the recordings weekly, right? Remember, we are trying to simulate an in-person environment so we can all learn properly. For this reason, we won't be sharing the class recordings, except for in the occasional rare circumstance where something happened and you couldn't come. 1 or 2 times, you can request for it, and it will be made available for a day for you to catch up. Content sharing. Will we be sharing slides? No. We will be sharing the mantras that you need and the shlokas that you need. For the rest of the class, anything that we share, you can feel free to make your own notes. Remember, the purpose of this class is so that you're able to finally at the end do puja. So we will make sure that whatever mantras, whatever shlokas are taught, you will have those with you. You can write them down, you can print them out, however you like. You can keep them and you can use them. However, by the end of the course, really, you should be able to remember most of them. The younger kids are the luckiest. By the end of these 16 weeks, they'll know the whole puja by heart. The rest of us have to put more effort in to learn the mantras, right? So content sharing, we will not be sharing the slides. Now today, if you didn't know, you're like, oh, but I didn't know, that's okay. What we'll do is we'll share the recording from today for anyone who wants to go back to any section to listen to anything, make any notes. And from next week, and also if you know anyone who may be interested in this kind of class, you can share the recording with them just for this time. After that, it will be too late to join the class. Course teachers, well, you've met us. Devji, who presented you saw a few minutes ago, and myself, people call me Jinaji. We are teachers at Chinmaya Mission, Guyana. We studied with Swami Prakashanandaji in Trinidad in 2013-2014. We were posted to Chinmaya Mission Toronto for 10 years. And since the beginning of 2025, we are now posted to Chinmaya Mission, Guyana. Our main work is teaching anything in Sanatana Dharma. So I hope that this answers the question about who we are. You'll get to know us a little bit more over the next few weeks also, those who don't know us. We're also looking forward to spending time with all of you. Course materials. We're going to be doing puja. What exactly will we need? Do you have to go and buy shank and bell and all of that? Well, my guess is you have most of what you need already at home. However, next week we will go through the materials that are needed for the whole course, right? So you don't need to go to the puja store every 2 days. One time you can go and get everything that you don't have, and then it will be there for the rest of the course and for the rest of your life also for you to do puja. The scope of this puja course, we went through what exactly we will be covering, what we won't be covering. So I hope that it answers the questions anyone had on how much we will be doing in these 16 weeks. Type of puja, we will be doing the traditional, authentic 16-step puja that has been handed down in Sanatana Dharma since millennia. We will not be, Chinmaya Mission doesn't do a Chinmaya Mission version of puja. We do the traditional Shodashopachara puja. So that is what we will be doing in this course. Once we do it, you'll also understand why the steps are the way they are. They're very logical, very simple to follow. Course language. The entire course will be conducted in English, and the only thing that will not be in English is the actual mantras and shlokas, which will be taught in the original Sanskrit. So that is the course language. Certificates. No, we will not be giving a certificate because at the end of the day, the purpose of this course is for me to be able to do puja for my Bhagavan. And Bhagavan doesn't need you to show him a certificate. Look, Bhagavan, I know how to do puja for you. The bhava that we have when we do puja itself it speaks enough. Okay? Course timing and duration. Every Tuesday, 6 to 7 p.m. AST, which is Guyana and Trinidad time, for 16 weeks. If you count, you'll see that the time we've given till mid-June includes a couple extra classes because sometimes you never know, something might happen and we might have to miss a class. But there will be 16 classes between now and June 16th, once a week. When the time changes in Canada and the US, we will continue at 6 p.m. AST. So it will become 6 p.m. EST, 5 p.m. CST, 3 p.m. PST. Accordingly, you can calculate, right? But this course will be at 6 p.m. in Guyana for the duration of the 16 weeks. Then someone had asked about when to do puja or which auspicious days. Again, that will be covered as we go along, but puja is done on any auspicious day. Puja can be done every single day, not can be. It is a sadhana many people do, a short little 5-minute puja, half an hour puja every day. And it can be done by anybody of any age. And the longer pujas are done on birthdays, on anniversaries, on deathversaries, to offer gratitude for any special occasion, and all major festivals that we celebrate in Sanatana Dharma. There is no rule that says you can't do puja today. Right? Puja is allowed to be offered to Bhagavan at any time because it is for purity of mind and it is an expression of gratitude. When is it not a good time to get purity of mind? And when is it not a good time to offer gratitude to Bhagavan? Okay. So I hope that the majority of questions that were asked have been answered. Now I will see if there's any other questions that came in the chat that didn't get answered. I think that is it, right? If you have any questions that are not answered, you can raise your hand on Zoom so we can find you, and then we can answer your questions.
I'll just mention we will be muting and unmuting people who are teaching this chanting at random, as we did today. So everybody has to be there practicing. There's one more element that helps us make it similar to a real class.
That means you have to chant every single time because you never know when we're going to unmute you. And usually on the first day, there's hiccups and then people are not chanting and then you don't know whose turn it is. And you're never going to know when it's your turn. You just chant every single time and we will take the responsibility of muting and unmuting you. So you don't touch your screen. You just chant and we will do the rest. Okay? Yes, Surendraji.
Namaskar, Hariom. Thank you very much. I know that you're explaining about how the course will go and so on, but in March we have the auspicious period of Navratri will be. I am just asking if that Tuesday within that period we will still have class.
So we were looking at the dates. Likely, if anything, it will just be like a recap class. But most likely, we won't have class because everybody will be going to mandirs across the countries for Navaratri. Yeah. So that, like I said, we've put in a couple of extra days for canceled classes. So that
All right,
will most likely be a class when we don't have a week we don't have class.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions? Yes, I'll finish. You go ahead.
Hariom, thank you. I have a question on today's lecture. So at the beginning, when you were talking about the different shuddhis, why is it called Atma Shuddhi if it's Deha Shuddhi? Like, isn't the Atma already pure?
No, okay, because in Sanskrit and in the tradition, you will find the word Atma is used not only for the self, it is used for the mind, it is used for the body, it is used for any part of our personality as well. So over here, Atma Shuddhi is referring to purification of the personality. Atma doesn't only mean the self, it has broad meanings.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Good question. Correct. The Atma is already pure. That Atma is always pure, but it's used variously. Any other questions? All the hard questions I'm going to send to Devji. So ask away. Yes, Derek.
Sorry, I couldn't find the hand. Um, for the doing the mantra slow is very hard. I would say in general. Like I'm so used to going to mantra and just just say it quick or say it alongside. Not that I want an easy way out, but is there like a structure that is easier to memorize with the intonation? I find that hard when we were doing the mantra, and even the dot. I forgot, Devji. I forgot what you mentioned. What the dot at the bottom of certain letters mean. So I guess the intonation part to help me get a pattern. I guess is that something that is there, or we just have to memorize?
No, so this is most of the shlokas we're teaching will follow the most simple chanda, the most simple meter.
Okay.
And we will be sending the audio to go along with it.
Mm.
And we are chanting a very simple, straight tune, if you will, right? So you'll pick it up eventually because it'll be same.
Okay.
However, I know in Guyana and in Trinidad, there are many ways to chant this simple Anushtup Chanda. The way I heard Pandit chanted in the old time, that still makes my heart feel something, more. So that means to say that you can chant it in your own tune. There's nothing that the pattern, as you call, needs to be like how we're chanting. You are free for that. And that can be added as time goes on. It's not something you have to get right at the beginning. So we will use one pattern, a way of saying it, and you'll pick it up eventually, and we'll send it by audio.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
A question has come about whether what is the best time to do puja? When you wake up in the morning and you have finished your regular routine, if you have if you can make 5 minutes to do puja before you start anything else, that is the most ideal time when our mind is fresh and available and before it takes on all the daily duties and all of that. Remembering God and starting our day with that bhava helps us to carry on the rest of the day. But if you miss it because of some reason, it's not that you can't do it in the evenings.
Just a word of encouragement for everyone. Those who are not lighting a lamp daily, once you start, you will feel just that exercise of lighting that real lamp every day has a tremendous impact. And it becomes an upward spiral. You want to know how to do more to inspire your relationship with Bhagavan. It just grows and grows and grows. So this first sadhana that we have given everybody, spiritual practice we've given everybody, it is a simple thing, but it is a tremendous simple practice. So don't take it lightly. Also, if there are obstacles, like maybe you don't have a diya or you don't have an altar or you didn't set up a place in your room to do it yet and all that, I recommend keep it very simple. Start though. Better to start something than try and wait to make it perfect. Right? Start from tomorrow morning with whatever you can do, and then you improve it every day.
Yes, Shantaji, I see your note. Wow, you're joining from the UK. The time must be late also. We'll give enough time. You'll have at least a week to get everything that you need, but I will send it to you. We'll send it out if you want to get it earlier, but you When we talk about it next class, you'll have 1 week before you need it. All right, everybody. Wow, Q&A went 15 minutes. This is not normal. It's just because it's the first day. We'll see everybody next Tuesday. Adios.
Hariom.